Playhouse Classics.
I want to introduce our new segment, the Playhouse Classics, and maybe next time we'll have a theme song or something. But this is an exciting day. So, in our Playhouse Classics segment, we're going to talk about movies that we watched many, many times when we were growing up in the Playhouse. I feel like the requirement for this is like we've had to have watched the movie like at least 20 times minimum for it to qualify to be a classic. So, for the first movie, I want to talk about the Sasquatch Gang with starring Justin Long and a bunch of other actors that never went anywhere.
Oh yeah, this movie is great. I mean, I can't even. We would just watch this almost like when we were younger, like well, every weekend if we were bored on like a Friday, Saturday night. We just have this like movie playing on repeat in the background. Like we'd be gaming or having friends over, and it's just an amazing, hilarious movie. It's lighthearted,
Yeah,
silly.
I feel like it's
Oh
one of
my
those movies
gosh.
that like anyone will appreciate. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't have the best Rotten Tomatoes score, but it's trying to like emulate that Napoleon Dynamite feel. I think this one I like more than Napoleon Dynamite. It's more like coherent. It's just not as outlandish, but the humor is very similar.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's very very silly. I think this is one of them. I mean, why we call it a Playhouse classic? It really shaped our humor and the types of jokes and things that we like. It's very absurd and kind of dry humor. There's no laugh track like Big Bang Theory, but the characters are very original. They're just very silly situations, and it's good. It's very
Yeah, and
good.
I really like it too because I feel like it really captures like that awkward teenager stage. Like I feel like maybe like people say like it's just like bad acting, but I feel like they actually casted like awkward teenagers and they play awkward teenagers really well. Like the way they kind of deliver their lines kind of feels like how high schoolers would talk.
Yeah, and the main guy, it's what is it? Jeremy Sumpter, Gavin, who was like the Peter Pan boy in
Hmm.
one of the Peter Pan movies. He's a good actor. I mean, I think they're trying to be awkward, so I think
Yeah, so
it's that
they do
Napoleon
it really well.
Dynamite style is really
Yeah.
what it's trying to do.
But man, I still remembered like every line and every joke when I rewatched it. And it's probably been like 10 years since I watched it. So
Yeah, I mean the premise is great. Like I think we connected a lot because we were kind of more of like the gamers and kind of the
yeah,
like
we
the
weren't as
nerdy
nerdy as
type.
these guys, but we were pretty
Yeah,
nerdy.
but we still like in the movie, like they love movies, they love
Yeah.
like live action role playing, and then like the bull is just kind of like typical like white trash dude, so he's really funny, played by Justin
Hmm.
Long. But we can kind of relate to just like these nerdy people, and they're very likable, just silly characters, and got Coconut Head in it from
Yeah. Well, I just
Ned's
feel like
Declassified.
the dialogue is so funny because it's like Napoleon Dynamite, but I feel like more like quick-witted, you know?
Hmm.
Like there's not as many like one-liners, but like the conversations they have are so funny and like the back and forth is so
Oh
good.
yeah, the scene that comes to mind that I think really just like sums up kind of like the type of humor in this movie. It's like they're in the front yard larping with like playing with their foam swords and stuff that they made, and they're battling, having fun, and then like their redneck mean neighbor Justin Long comes over and starts like bullying them and challenges them to a fight and stuff, and then he basically just grabs it and doesn't even like play by the rules and is just
Yeah.
being mean and beats him up. But then when they get like kind of like demeaned by him being stupid, he's like, "You can't make this out of foam and duct tape," and then just flexes his
Yeah.
muscle and arm. He's just like so full of himself and not aware of how much he just sucks. And he's
Yeah.
like a 20-something-year-old just bully these like 15 or
Yeah.
16-year-old kids, and it's just so stupid.
Well, I just love it too. Having shirts, and then like he gives him the high five, and he's holding his corn dog. He's like, "Why are you holding a corn dog when I go for to give you a high
Oh
five?"
yeah, he gives him a
Now I look like a total cue hole.
yeah. He high fives him and knocks the corn dog out of his hand. It's just. And then even that, like, there's like some of those kind of long, silly scenes, like not necessarily dialogue heavy, but it's like when Shirts who's a character who just doesn't wear a shirt the whole TV show. He just wears jean shorts with no t-shirt, but he's just microwaving a hot dog or a corn dog, and then his dog's looking at him, so he just feeds the dog a bite of the corn dog and then starts eating it
Yeah.
afterwards after the dog gets its slobber all over it.
And then you meet his family, and none of them wear shirts either.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they have that dinner scene. They're all sitting eating like hot dogs and Cheetos at dinner.
Yeah.
None of the family's wearing a t-shirt at the dinner table. Yeah,
Uh,
it's very very
and then
silly.
another throwback too. Some of our younger viewers might not know this, but back in the day, Netflix used to mail DVDs out to people. It's a pretty
Really?
crazy concept, yeah. But when we got this movie, when we first watched it, we got it from Netflix, and we liked it so much, we just told them the DVD was lost in the mail, and we kept it.
Oh yeah, that was one
So
of the first ones we kept. That was
yeah,
oh yeah, I remember that because in Netflix when they mailed them, there was something like, oh, every year you could like lose 5 DVDs before they
yeah.
charged you or something. So we just would report it lost. They're like, every year we could get 5 movies for free.
Well, I also remember too. We had the Freaks and Geeks like box set, but our one of the discs got scratched, so we just got it from Netflix and then sent back the scratched one and kept the nice one. So that's probably why they don't send DVDs anymore.
Oh yeah, it's too much of a hassle. I mean, you can't like with streaming stuff, you can't like steal a screening thing permanently. And I mean, put it on DVD. It's too much work. Can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, this was good. I mean, Sasquatch Gang. It's a great movie. The premise is basically a group of these kind of like nerdy friends go looking for. They find Sasquatch poop in the forest. So becomes a big town ordeal that there's a potential Sasquatch sighting in their neighborhood and all the events and things that follow.
Yeah, so if you like Napoleon Dynamite, you definitely like this. Even Napoleon Dynamite has a cameo in it. He's in it for a second, and then Uncle Rico, I forget the actor's name right now. He's one of the main characters. So
yeah, he's the main cop in that one. Napoleon Dynamite, his character, he's just a small part, but
yeah, he's like working at the carnival they go to just for one scene. But
yeah, when I first saw this, I thought it was the same director of Napoleon Dynamite, but
well, it is very, very similar. I feel like I feel like after Napoleon Dynamite, a lot of movies try to capitalize on that style, and this is probably one of the better ones.
I think this is the best one of that
Yeah.
that style. I mean, Napoleon
Yeah.
Dynamite I like, but that one's just kind of like weird, like kind of. I feel like when it came out, it was just trying to be absurd of just like the concept and like not necessarily joke on joke on joke. There's some of it, but this one's just a lot more like you said, witty dialogue and humor, and focuses more on the comedy. So
Yeah, the stuff they say is so funny. Like he goes on a date, and then the date's like over, and it's like nighttime, and he's like, "I gotta go. I told my mom that I'm at the pet store looking at kittens."
yeah, then he like runs too. Like it doesn't do a Naruto run, but it's like a very similar kind of arm. There's just so many weird things. Like they're just so awkward and strange. It's like they actually feel like this is what like dating was like for them in high school for these like weird awkward kids. Yeah, it was very good.
Oh, and then I just have to mention my favorite part is when he calls the girl to ask her on a date, and he's like, "Hello, is Sophia there?" And she's like, "You mean Sophie?" And he's like, "No." And then he hangs up and then calls back immediately after and says the right name.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Anyone who wants a good teen comedy with some good absurd, witty humor and very, very silly characters, I think you would like this movie.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like it's like a family-friendly movie.
Yes,
anyone
very
can watch
family-friendly.
it. Yeah.
Watch it with your parents. Watch it with your little brother. It could be PG-13, so maybe not that little. But even if you're younger, hey, you could find something to like in this one.
Yeah, so go out and watch this movie. Needs some love.
Yeah, it does. I don't think it's highly rated enough on here. It doesn't get enough attention. Napoleon Dynamite, everyone knows, but not this one. This one's much, much better. So check it out. If you like Napoleon Dynamite, boom, Sasquatch Gang is for you. Yeah.
You want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll wait till you're done drinking. So, if you like this review of Sasquatch Gang and this video, you should check out our channel. We do full-length movie reviews. 2 movies every week. Check it out. We get into the nitty-gritty details of what worked and what didn't work. So give this video a like, subscribe if you feel so inclined, and check out our longer video reviews. Well, we just watched Godzilla vs. Kong. See what we liked about it and see if it's good or not.